My beautiful sisters, there comes a time in every one of our lives when we are tested. When we encounter individuals who may not understand our worth, who may not value our boundaries, and who may not bring the peace we deserve into our lives. In those moments, we often feel pressure to react, to defend ourselves, to fight for our space and our voice. But what if I told you that the most powerful thing you can do in these situations is not to react at all? What if the answer lies in silence, cutting them off, not with anger, but with the quiet strength that only you possess? Today, we're going to talk about how embracing this silent power can bring you back to the peace, the self-respect, and the boundaries that you deserve. Empowerment is not just a word, it's a profound truth that comes from within. It's the realization that you are in full control of your life, your choices, and your energy. It's the moment when you understand that you are the one who decides how much of yourself you give to others and how much you keep for yourself. Empowerment means recognizing your own worth without needing validation from anyone else. It's the understanding that you don't need to seek approval from the outside world when you already know who you are and what you stand for. True empowerment comes from a deep connection with your own inner strength. It's about standing tall in the face of adversity, knowing that you are capable of overcoming anything that comes your way. It's about letting go of the need to prove yourself and instead trusting your instincts, your wisdom, and your ability to create the life you deserve. Empowerment means giving yourself permission to say no when something doesn't align with your values, and yes to the things that nurture your soul. When you are empowered, you know how to protect your peace. You no longer allow external circumstances or people to dictate how you feel. You are the master of your emotions, and you choose to surround yourself with love, positivity, and support. Empowerment gives you the courage to set healthy boundaries, to walk away from situations that drain you, and to choose relationships that lift you up rather than tear you down. It's also about understanding your own voice. Empowerment allows you to speak your truth even when it's hard, even when others may not agree. It's knowing that your words carry weight, and they have the power to create change, to inspire, and to elevate not just your life, but the lives of those around you. When you empower yourself, you become a beacon of light for others. You set an example of what it means to live authentically, to own your space, and to pursue your dreams unapologetically. Empowerment isn't just about lifting yourself up. It's about creating a effect that encourages others to step into their own power. It's about creating a community of empowered women who support and uplift each other, who understand that there is enough space for all of us to thrive. This kind of empowerment doesn't come from external achievements or recognition. It comes from a deep, unwavering belief in your own value. It's about knowing that you are enough, just as you are, and that your journey is unique and worthy of respect. Empowerment is not something that is given to you by others, it's something you give to yourself. It's a choice, a mindset, and a way of living that allows you to navigate the world with confidence, grace, and unshakable strength. Boundaries are the silent yet powerful guardians of our emotional, mental, and physical well-being. They are the invisible lines that we draw in our lives to protect ourselves from being overwhelmed, manipulated, or taken for granted. Boundaries are not walls that isolate us from others. Instead, they are the gentle but firm guidelines that define what is acceptable and what is not in our relationships, work, and interactions with the world. Establishing boundaries is an act of self-love, a commitment to prioritizing our own needs, peace, and happiness above all else. The concept of boundaries is deeply rooted in our understanding of self-worth. When we establish clear boundaries, we are telling the world, and more importantly ourselves, that we value our time, our energy, and our emotional health. We are acknowledging that we deserve respect, and that our personal space, whether physical, emotional, or mental, deserves to be honored. Boundaries are not about being rigid or distant. They are about creating a space where mutual respect can flourish, where people understand that we are not available for everything, but we are present for what truly aligns with our values and well-being. Boundaries are the silent yet powerful guardians of our emotional, mental, and physical well-being. They are the invisible lines that we draw in our lives to protect ourselves from being overwhelmed, manipulated, or taken for granted. Boundaries are not walls that isolate us from others. Instead, they are the gentle but firm guidelines that define what is acceptable and what is not in our relationships, work, and interactions with the world. Establishing boundaries is an act of self-love, a commitment to prioritizing our own needs, peace, and happiness above all else. The concept of boundaries is deeply rooted in our understanding of self-worth. When we establish clear boundaries, we are telling the world, and more importantly ourselves, that we value our time, our energy, and our emotional health. We are acknowledging that we deserve respect and that our personal space, whether physical, emotional, or mental, deserves to be honored. Boundaries are not about being rigid or distant. They are about creating a space where mutual respect can flourish, where people understand that we are not available for everything, but we are present for what truly aligns with our values and well-being. In relationships, boundaries are essential to maintaining a sense of individuality and autonomy. Without boundaries, it's easy to lose sight of who we are, what we need, and what we stand for. When we fail to establish boundaries, we allow others to take up space in our lives that doesn't serve us, to drain our energy, or to impose their expectations upon us. Setting boundaries allows us to create the space for authentic connections where both parties can exist without fear of overstepping or being taken advantage of. It allows us to give and receive love and support in a healthy, balanced way. Boundaries are also a form of self-respect. When we know what we are willing to tolerate and what we are not, we make choices that protect our mental and emotional health. They give us the courage to say no without guilt, to stand firm in our decisions, and to prioritize our needs, even when others may try to pull us in different directions. Boundaries are not about being unkind or selfish. They are about protecting the energy we invest in people, activities, and situations that truly matter to us. They give us the space to be our authentic selves, without fear of judgment or overextension. Setting boundaries is often a journey of self-discovery. It requires us to be in tune with our own feelings, desires, and limits. It challenges us to reflect on what we truly need, what we are willing to accept, and where we must draw the line. It takes practice and courage to set boundaries, especially when we've spent much of our lives trying to please others or avoid confrontation. But in doing so, we reclaim our power. We teach others how to treat us, and we create an environment where respect, trust, and love can thrive. Boundaries also allow us to preserve our energy and focus on the things that matter most. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with demands, expectations, and distractions, setting boundaries is a way to take back control. We learn to say no to what drains us and yes to what nourishes our soul. We create space for rest, reflection, and growth. Boundaries are essential for maintaining balance in our lives, allowing us to show up as our best selves in all areas, whether it's in our careers, relationships, or personal development. In a sense, boundaries are a form of self-care. They are an act of honoring our needs, protecting our peace, and asserting our value in a world that often asks too much of us. By setting boundaries, we acknowledge that we are worthy of love, respect, and care, and that we have the right to protect our space from anything that threatens our well-being. And when we live with clear, healthy boundaries, we create an environment where we can thrive, where we can live authentically, love deeply, and give freely, knowing that we have protected our most precious resource, ourselves. Self-worth is the deep, unshakable belief that you are deserving of love, respect, and happiness just as you are. It is an intrinsic value that comes from within, not from external achievements, appearances, or the opinions of others. It's about recognizing that you are whole, worthy, and enough in every single moment, regardless of your past, your mistakes, or the judgments placed upon you. Self-worth is not a destination or something that can be earned. It's a foundational truth that you carry with you at all times, no matter the circumstances. True self-worth is built upon the understanding that you are more than the roles you play in life, more than a mother, a daughter, a partner, or a friend. It is about knowing that you have inherent value simply by being you. Your worth does not depend on how well you perform or how others perceive you. It is not conditional upon your success or failure. Your ability to, at its core, self-worth is about self-acceptance. It's about loving yourself in your entirety, without judgment, shame, or guilt. It's recognizing that you don't need to be perfect to be valuable, that your imperfections are part of what makes you beautiful and human. Self-worth allows you to forgive yourself for past mistakes, to learn from them, and to move forward with grace and confidence. It frees you from the need to constantly prove yourself, allowing you to live authentically without fear of rejection or criticism. When you fully understand your self-worth, you no longer tolerate behavior that diminishes or disrespects you. You stop allowing others to treat you as less than you are. This doesn't mean you become arrogant or prideful. Rather, it means you stand firm in the knowledge that you deserve respect, kindness, and love. You begin to attract people who see you for the amazing person you are and who support and encourage your growth and happiness. Self-worth helps you develop a deep sense of self-respect, which in turn allows you to create healthy, nurturing relationships with others. Living with self-worth also means prioritizing your own needs and well-being. It's knowing that you deserve the same love, care, and compassion that you so often give to others. When you value yourself, you make choices that honor your mental, emotional, and physical health. You allow yourself to rest when needed, to say no when something doesn't serve you, and to invest in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. You stop feeling guilty for taking care of yourself, understanding that nurturing yourself is not selfish, it's necessary for you to show up as the best version of yourself for others. Self-worth is also an ongoing practice. It's not something that can be achieved overnight, but something that you cultivate over time through conscious choices, self-reflection, and self-compassion. It requires patience, as it may take time to unlearn old patterns of self-doubt or criticism. But as you continue to nurture your self-worth, it becomes a powerful force that guides every decision you make, every relationship you enter, and every goal you set. It gives you the courage to step into your greatness, to embrace the fullness of who you are, and to live a life that is true to your values and your dreams. Self-worth is the foundation upon which everything else in your life is built. It influences how you view yourself, how you interact with the world, and how you allow others to treat you. When you embrace your worth, you unlock the door to limitless possibilities, for you realize that you are worthy of everything you desire: love, success, peace, and joy. And once you understand that, nothing can stand in your way. Discernment is a quiet, yet powerful tool within each of us. One that allows us to navigate the complexities of life with wisdom, clarity, and intentionality. It is the ability to see beyond the surface, to understand deeper truths, and to make decisions based not just on what is visible, but on what aligns with our inner values, intuition, and long-term well-being. Discernment is a skill, one that grows stronger the more we listen to our inner voice and reflect on our experiences. It is the capacity to make judgments that are rooted in self-awareness, grounded in respect for ourselves and others, and guided by a deep sense of purpose. To discern means to distinguish between what is helpful and what is harmful, what resonates with your truth and what leads you away from it. It is not simply about knowing right from wrong, but about understanding what aligns with your soul's highest calling. It's the ability to recognize situations, relationships, or opportunities that will nurture you and help you grow, as well as those that may drain you or cause unnecessary harm. Discernment allows you to look beyond the surface level of things and see what truly lies beneath, whether that's the intentions of the people around you or the potential long-term consequences of your choices. One of the most powerful aspects of discernment is that it empowers you to make decisions with confidence. When you are discerning, you are able to trust your judgment because you have learned to listen to your intuition, to read the subtle signs that life offers you, and to make choices that align with your values and your vision for the future. Discernment frees you from the need for external validation or approval because you know that the decisions you make are right for you, regardless of what others may think or say. It is the quiet knowing that guides you forward with calm assurance, knowing that you are on the right path. At the heart of discernment is self-awareness. It requires a deep understanding of who you are, what you need, and what your boundaries are. When you are self-aware, you can more easily identify when something or someone does not align with your truth. You can listen to your gut. Discernment also involves patience. It's about not rushing into decisions or reacting impulsively. It teaches us to take a step back, to pause and reflect, to allow the clarity of our mind and soul to guide us instead of letting fear, pressure, or external influences dictate our actions. In a world that often values speed and instant gratification, discernment teaches us the importance of slowing down, of being present, and of waiting for the right moment to act. It's knowing that sometimes the best choice is to do nothing at all, to wait for more information, or to let the situation unfold before making a judgment. As you cultivate discernment, you also become more attuned to the people around you. You learn to read between the lines, to understand the motivations and intentions of others, and to recognize when something is not as it seems. This heightened awareness allows you to protect yourself from people who may not have your best interests at heart. Discernment gives you the ability to assess whether relationships are supportive and nourishing or whether they are draining and toxic. It helps you identify patterns, behaviors, and dynamics that are not serving your highest good and to make the necessary changes to protect your peace. Discernment also requires compassion. It's not just about making judgments based on logic or intellect, but also on understanding and empathy. It's about recognizing that every person, including ourselves, is on a journey, and that sometimes our choices are made out of pain, fear, or past experiences. Discernment involves the ability to separate someone's actions from their worth, to see the humanity in others while still recognizing when their behavior is no longer acceptable. It's about holding space for others' growth while still maintaining your own boundaries and protecting your own peace. Discernment is a powerful tool that empowers you to live a life of authenticity and alignment. It enables you to make choices that reflect your true self, your values, and your goals. It helps you cultivate relationships that nourish your spirit and release those that no longer serve you. It is a skill that grows stronger over time as you learn to trust yourself, listen to your inner voice, and approach life with wisdom, patience, and grace. Discernment allows you to live intentionally, to create a life that is in harmony with who you truly are, and to step forward with clarity and confidence, knowing that each decision you make is in alignment with your highest good. Peace is more than just the absence of conflict or noise. It is a state of being that comes from within, a deep, quiet sense of tranquility and balance. It is the ability to remain calm, grounded, and centered, regardless of the circumstances or external pressures. True peace isn't something that can be bought, forced, or manufactured. It is something that emerges when we learn to let go of the things that disturb our inner harmony and create space for stillness. It is the serenity that arises when we choose to release what no longer serves us and embrace what nurtures our souls. At its core, peace is about acceptance of ourselves, of others, and of the world as it is, even when it doesn't meet our expectations. It's the understanding that there will always be things beyond our control, that there will be challenges and struggles along the way, but knowing that we have the power to choose how we respond to those challenges. Peace is not about avoiding discomfort or difficulty. It is about how we navigate those moments with grace, with self-compassion, and with a sense of trust that everything will unfold as it is meant to. When we find peace within ourselves, we no longer feel the need to seek approval or validation from others. We are no longer swayed by the judgments, opinions, or criticisms of the world around us. Instead, we become anchored in our own sense of worth and purpose, understanding that we are enough as we are. Peace allows us to stand firm in our truth, to make decisions that align with our deepest values, and to move through the world with the confidence that comes from knowing who we are and what we stand for. Peace also requires us to make space for forgiveness both of ourselves and of others. It is difficult to experience true peace when we are holding on to past wounds, grudges, or resentment. These emotional burdens weigh us down, preventing us from experiencing the lightness and freedom that peace offers. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior or forgetting what happened. It means releasing the grip that anger, hurt, or bitterness has on our hearts. It's about choosing to let go, not for the sake of the other person, but for the sake of our own healing and peace of mind. Inner peace is also nurtured by boundaries clear, healthy boundaries that protect our energy, our time, and our emotional well-being. Without boundaries, we can easily become